Welcome back to Affirmations. My voice going in and out. Welcome back to Affirmations. As you can see, I have my cat Nixie back here with us today, wanting to be in the camera. but welcoming you all back to the segment called The Children of the Slaves, where we read books that kind of help us connect back into our inner child. Okay. And today we're going to be reading a book called Momma, Where Are You From? By Marie Braby. Oh, hold on. Bradby. Come on, get it together. And again, the reason why I've started doing this segment is because, again, as part of our people's history, in slavery, children were not allowed to be children, okay? And that is a legacy that is still passed down today, with even with ourselves, the way things that we had to know in order to be safe growing up, as well as the way we teach our kids today. Them always having to be aware that at any given time, even if they're a child, things could switch and they would be perceived as an adult. And so we have to teach them to be cautious, okay? However, living like that robs all of us of our childhoods, okay? And it's important for us to connect with our inner child because our inner child is what allows us to dream and to imagine, okay? And so we're going to read this book today, and I hope you all enjoy it, okay? Momma, where are you from? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let's see some beautiful image. Okay, hopefully you all are able to see that. Mama, where are you from? Where are you from, Mama? I'm from Monday mornings, washing loads of clothes in the wringer washer. And peach basketfuls of laundry to hang on clotheslines strung from tree to tree, the sun bleaching the sheets, the wind whipping them dry. I am from beans, green, lima, and pea picked, strong, snapped, and shelled into pans, then put on stoves to simmer for an hour. I am from peddlers driving a creaky old wagon with a big old horse and calling up and down the street, "Fish man, fish man, I've got fresh trout, spots, croakers today, fish man, fish man." "When did you get them?" my mother would ask. "They're real fresh. They came in the dock early this morning." "All right," she'd say, "I'll take some croakers." Calling, "Ragman, ragman, got any rags to sell? 10 cents a pound." My mother would give him a bundle of worn out clothes and later stash the money in the cookie jar. Calling, Ice cream, ice cream. If it was real hot, we would get 2 blocks of ice. Not ice cream. I mean, ice man, ice man. I want some ice cream, y'all. If it was real hot, we would get 2 blocks of ice. Mama would crack it with a pick and give me the chips to suck on. Mama, where's that place? Where's that place, Mama? It is where the edge of town met the countryside, where the city sidewalk, Nixie, you're in the way, where the city sidewalk ended and chickens ran through yards, where, Nixie, y'all see he wants to read the book. Nixie, it's a she. Where the city sidewalk ended and chickens ran through yards, where families grew into a neighborhood as close as a knit sweater, where we threw up a hand to everyone we saw, where I saw Miss Mary passing our house in the morning on her way to work, and Mr. Thompson coming home from baking bread all night. It is where the school bus took my older brothers and sisters way across town, past school, after school, after school, until it came to a school where all the children were brown, some light, some dark, some in between. Where days took their time and morning lay on the rolling hills as long as she pleased, where I played under a gumball tree that took up the whole sky and wondered why Miss Mary cleaned someone else's house, why the sidewalk why the sidewalk ended at the edge of my neighborhood, and why my brothers and sisters didn't go to the school right up the street. Where afternoons my brothers delivered newspapers and I sprinkled and rolled up clothes while my sister pressed with 2 flat irons, one to use, the other to heat up on the stove and be ready when the first went cold. Where everything we wore and used was starched and ironed, even dish towels and underwear. Where Friday evenings we fried fish outdoors, and my cousins would come over with cherry pie and ice cream. We would sit around tubs of ice sodas in the backyard, and Daddy would say to Cousin Albert, "What do you have?" Where we children played 1, 2, 3, red light, while the adults listened to ball games on the radio, the Washington Senators and the Baltimore Orioles, if I'm pronouncing it right, where Daddy played his old Duke Ellington and Count Basie records, and we danced in the shadows, switching our hips, popping our fingers, and pretending to be adults. Mama, can I go there? Can I go there, Mama? Yes. We can travel through the roads in my memory. Let's see. Up the stairs, sliding down the hall, passing beds full of children, heads full of new dreams, nights full of stars. The I love that book. Um, yeah, that definitely is such a beautiful book. When I saw it, it again has to do with our people and the way our communities were before integration. Um, Very interesting when you look at our people and how strong our communities were before integration. I encourage everyone to start doing your research a little bit. There are a lot of little videos out there about Black communities before integration and how we um, had our own businesses. We bought and sold amongst each other. And where you had all the groups together to where when one lacked, one could pick up and support. Okay. Um, we were just strong as a people. We also are the only group of people who have been historically sabotaged and stopped from having our own communities. And we always talk about our if then statement, right? If other groups are allowed and celebrated for having their communities and being able to buy and sell amongst each other as well as contribute to the main society, then it is only fair that we should have the right to do so as well. But again, understanding, even with me researching and better understanding what the purpose of the Ku Klux Klan was, when Black communities and people would start businesses. Before we had the neighborhoods, when we had the kind of these Black communities, the KKK, if someone opened a business that was taking business from one of the white owners where we were buying from, they would come and terrorize and say, you're causing trouble, and they would burn down a business or hang someone, right? To stop us from buying and selling amongst ourselves. They wanted that money, okay? Again, other groups are allowed to buy and sell amongst themselves. But again, throughout history, if you do your research, you'll see that many times, um, not just I'm trying to figure out a lot of those little small towns that were destroyed. They were beautiful. Tulsa. I'm trying to figure out the name. Put it in the comment section to help me remember some of those Black communities, the popular ones that were burnt down because of Blacks having their own. And if it happened in that one area, in all areas, there was a effort to make sure that we would not unite. And throughout history, when you look at concepts of redlining and a lot of different concepts, again on YouTube, if you look at videos, they'll say how projects were created. A lot of these things were orchestrated, okay, to kind of stop us as a people, okay. And so, it's just important to know our history. Also, too, it's difficult sometimes to take emotion out of looking at integration for our people versus what we were like before um, integration. And then, yeah, when we have to compare it and look at the facts, were we better off? Haven't are we strong enough to speak the truth to that? Okay, because again, a group can have their own community as well as contribute to the main society. The things that's so interesting though is that um, we're the only group that has already contributed to main society with our blood, sweat, and tears. Again, all economies have been based off of slavery. And so we've already done our part. But again, a lot of times when we're looking at from a counseling perspective, when you're looking at a historical victim, even if it's just an individual or a race nation group, and an abuser is just not going to be fair. And again, some people may have the capacity to try and is try as hard as they might. You'll always see some elements of abuse there, okay? Because traditionally you have to have an outside person come in and mediate. And when we don't have that, abuses still can go on throughout the years, which they still continue to do, okay? It's just disguised more discreetly now, okay? And so that's when we have to, that's when spirituality kind of comes into play. Politics is one option, but when you look at has politics helped our people? Has it progressed us in any way? As far as if you look up what are the signs that a race nation group is healthy and doing well, Look up that criteria. A lot of times is, are there married families? Are they, have their own businesses? These are certain criterias, and we don't have any of that anymore. Again, those things were sabotaged. Okay. So, a lot to think about. But even though this is all very serious, but it's getting us to understand our history, understand the type of people we are, also understanding the challenges that we have suffered and that we continue to have challenges with, but also understanding that we also can choose to, you know, uh, buy and sell from each other, and again not have to announce things. Part of the brainwashing is that normally we report, or there's a type of a chicken in with master or overseer where we have to announce, and that's not needed. You literally can just quietly just do a thing, okay, that benefits your community without having to announce it. Okay, so with that, guys, I thank you so much for joining me, and again, never forget your inner child. Bye.